For 3 nights in a row, a farm on the edge of the forest reported heavy damage. Corn stalks knocked flat. Soil torn open. Fences shattered. Trail cameras showed the same thing each night, a large sounder cutting straight across the fields. They never stayed long, but it was enough to leave serious destruction behind. The farmer called us close to midnight. He only said one short sentence: "If something isn't done soon, I'll lose the entire crop." By early morning, we were already there. For people living along the forest line, this kind of work is sometimes the only way to keep balance when wild hog numbers push past the limit. Not long after entering the woods, the dogs picked up a very fresh scent. The pace changed instantly, faster, sharper, pushing forward step by step. Ahead of us, a large fallen tree lay across the trail, creating a natural barrier. The terrain was steep and thick, leaving only one narrow escape path. The team spread out quickly, keeping low, sealing off angles and guiding the animal exactly where we needed it. When the boar finally stopped at the block point, the situation was handled cleanly and efficiently. Just as the first situation wrapped up, the dogs lit up again from another direction not far away. The team immediately shifted course. A tree lay diagonally along the slope, forming a perfect natural brace point. I took position behind it, about 10 meters back, close enough to watch everything clearly, far enough to stay concealed. The animal's movement was now clearly restricted. It didn't have many options left. But a wild boar's survival instincts can make its next move completely unpredictable. Choose the wrong position, and the entire situation can flip in an instant. A few tense seconds passed. Then the moment was resolved decisively. The next set of tracks led us into a sparse section of forest where 2 dry trunks stood parallel to each other, forming a narrow gap. The terrain almost forced the animal to hesitate there, even if only for a split second. Time seemed to freeze. In that moment, the entire forest went silent. After the intensity of the previous encounters, the team slowed down. Not to rest, but to reorganize and read the terrain again. Then we continued moving toward areas where fresh signs appeared. The tracks were scattered, suggesting the larger group had broken apart and dispersed. That actually makes things more dangerous, because each individual becomes far more cautious. Suddenly, a large group burst across the hillside like a moving wave through the forest. Sound layered over sound. Movement everywhere at once. Every reaction had to operate at maximum speed. There was no time for long calculations anymore, only instinct, experience, and perfect coordination between everyone in the team. For a few intense minutes, the entire forest turned into a rushing current of chaos. The last sunlight slid through the treetops, painting the forest in a soft orange glow. After hours of constant movement, the signs began to thin out. Ahead of us, a lone boar appeared, separated from the rest of the group. There was no longer the violent chase from earlier, no chaos, just complete focus. And as the sun dropped behind the trees, the final situation of the day was handled cleanly, closing a long stretch of work that had started at sunrise and ended in the fading light. On the way back, no one spoke much. After hours deep in the woods, what remains isn't just fatigue, it's the quiet understanding that we've done something necessary for the farms along this forest edge. But everyone also knows one thing. Today was only a small chapter in a much larger story that this forest continues to write.